have what we call permission chain, like my colleague from Eden Chain just shared a permission chain. Permission chain is kind of like your own private local area network, where if you are, let's say, an insurance company, you might want to have everything on your customer records or your policies on your own personal private chain, right? So let's talk a little bit about why blockchain technology is failing as a technology to solve today's company or enterprise problems. As you can see, if I go back here, blockchain does the blockchain thing very well. It does transactions very well. But unfortunately, today, blockchain needs to go beyond just the digital or cryptocurrency. There also needs to be a very easy integration, right, of the blockchain engine to current or legacy systems. Like for example, you got a company which has a system that's been running for the past 15 years. You don't want to have to redesign it or change it. You just want to have it more secure with the blockchain. There's also a demand for processing speed. Blockchain, unfortunately, because of the nature of its architecture, needs higher processing speed, or transactions per second, they call it TPS. There's also demand for simple way to interact with the blockchain. Today, unless you're a developer or you know people who have learned about blockchain, it's very hard to integrate blockchain into your organization or your project. There's also demand for use cases. That means people say, yeah, this is great technology, but what do you use it for, right? There's also demand for low-cost, flexible systems, right? And of course, again, I refer to Eden Chain. They're trying to do that to make it easy for integration with other systems. So within NEM, essentially, when we created NEM, we said people need to go beyond the cryptocurrency. And if you go to our website, nem.io, you will see this video, which is this blue colored video. We can do beyond just the digital currency. Cryptocurrency is only one of the smallest applications that you can do on the NEM blockchain. You can create a host of other digital assets on the system, right, and to do multiple things. Then, of course, very similar to how Eden Chain approaches, we do everything with API. That means in order for your company or your project to use the NEM blockchain, you don't need to learn a language. You don't need to redesign your system. You just need to learn how API works. API is the language that programs use to talk to each other. The application programming interface, the API, once you learn how to talk to the NEM blockchain, whatever systems you have in the back can be integrated. So this API approach makes it very easy and very fast for you to integrate your current existing systems onto the NEM blockchain, right? So let's talk a little bit. There's been a lot of talk about, blockchain needs to be fast and, it needs to really solve real world problems. But let's talk a little bit about transaction speeds, okay? Today, for example, our version 1 of our software can do 200 transactions per second. If you take 200 transactions per second, multiply by 60 seconds, you get 12,000. You could go on, and then you have, in a day, you get 720,000 transactions per second. That's 17,000, 280. In an hour, you get 720,000 transactions per second. Now, a lot of people say, well, 200 is very low, but then I ask a very simple question. Do you really need 518 million transactions per second in what you're trying to do? Tell me how many corporate enterprise systems out there does 518 million transactions per second, per month? Very few, right? So we say, okay, never mind, our version 2, which we call Catapult, can do 4,000 transactions per second, right? So, but then I also ask the question, how many systems today meet 345,600,000 transactions per day? I don't think many systems need that. Even the most robust systems that can handle nations' records may not need that kind of firepower. So I always ask, you know, if you need a bicycle, do you need a rocket ship? Right? So sometimes maybe comparing blockchains by their transaction speeds may not necessarily be kind of like the reference point, right? So one of the things that we make it, on the NEM side, we make it a little bit faster, is that we invented something in our new version. We call it that new version Catapult. It's like version 2.0 of NEM. We invented something called aggregated transactions, meaning right now in typical blockchain solutions, when you send a transaction, it's one transaction to do one thing, or whether it's a push transaction or whether it's a pull transaction. But in Catapult, we implemented something very interesting. We said, why can't you just do one shot? You can do a few things all at once. Example of that is like, for example, what we call decentralized swaps. That means if, let's say, I am a buyer and buying something from a licensed seller, but we need to kind of pay the fees for an exchange service. Something like maybe an eBay, right? Who charges a small fee when the two buyers interact with each other. We say, why don't, with one transactions, we pay, let's say, in our case, the 3,000 ZEMs. We pay to the seller, and he gives me something, in this case it's a license, but we have to pay 6 ZEMs to the exchange service. And that's a typical enterprise solution for that, right? So in one shot, we did it all in one transaction, done, right? We don't need to do 1, 2, 3 transactions separately. That saves a lot of time. The other thing that we can do is, for example, we can do very complicated things like, let's say Alice wants to use the payment app to go and pay Bob. She can actually say, I'm going to send $50 US dollars to Bob, and immediately that same app can send the fees to, the app can actually send a sub 0.2% or 20 cents from Alice wallet also. Now that saves a lot of time. So one transaction, boom, you get 3 things done, right? So we also do something called multi-level, multi-signature. That means you can actually use the blockchain to do multiple things. Simple multi-signature wallet that we created, you can do multiple things. For example, you can have, let's say Bob is a very forgetful guy, he keeps forgetting his stuff, so his mom says, okay, why don't I help you? And your brother and your friend, we all can help you. If you forget your password, we can help you recover it, right? So they invented 1 or 2. That means if Bob's computer, Bob forget his password, his mom can jump in and call the brother, and then they sign off on the transaction. Something simple like that, right? So it's possible because you save a lot of, you solve a lot of real world problems. You know how people forget their ATM PIN number, they go to the bank, they need to reset it, or they lost their ATM card. This is something similar in the digital world, right? So we can create very complex things too, where we can say, let's build a complex systems like supply chain. I don't even know this, so don't worry about it if you don't understand the structure. So anyway, we can create very complex supply chain solutions using just signatures. For example, you have inspectors can then sign off something and the inspection is passed, right? But before we do that, once we do the inspection and the factory confirms the production date, then only the shipment can be done. We can create very complex systems using this method of signatories, okay? So, version 2, we are very excited because it's in developer preview. Can you help me play that video? This is quite fun. I just want to show you. This is actually 100, and it's actually 1.5 years of our version 2 getting developed by our 3 programmers on NEM. Actually, we all have all 3 core programmers. Okay. What they did was, this is actually collapsed into 120 seconds. This is 1.5 years of work. And basically what they did was they created a blockchain core server running on, for those techie people, MongoDB, which is a database of sorts. And they also built another layer that has all the SDKs, which is software development kits that can talk to existing systems. And then underneath it, they built a layer where you can write apps cool, right? It's a lot of work, but it's collapsed into 120 seconds for us. Okay. So basically what they did was they built the core components and then they went out to build the 3 parts of the catapult engine. So today catapult, our version 2 is up for developer preview, and we look forward to perhaps a little bit next year to release it on the open source, right, on the public domain. So right now, if you're a developer, for those of you who are developing projects, who want to play with catapult, go to our website and you can sign up and download the GitHub, the program code, and you can play with it. Thank you. This is very cool, right? So, okay. So this is all of the potential ecosystem that you can do. And these are actually live projects that is already running on the NEM blockchain. If you were to do the QR scan or go to our website, you'll see this. We have done things with payments, registration, we even have a platform. We've done gaming. We also have banking systems, even a loyalty program, a reward program powered by NEM blockchain. So this is important because you want people the ability to develop stuff with the blockchain, not just talk about blockchain, right? So one of my favorite is actually, I'm going to tell you about it, is Loyal Coin. Loyal Coin is actually Philippines' largest loyalty program, and they developed it on a platform on NEM blockchain, right? So this is actually what they are. So what they did was they said, okay, we are the loyalty program for Starbucks, 7-Eleven in Philippines. But the problem was each of those loyalty programs, they do not talk to each other. They're all silos. So Loyal Coin says that I'm going to use the NEM blockchain. I'm going to create a loyal token where you can take the wallet, go to Starbucks. When you buy a latte, you get Loyal token or Loyal Coin. Then you go to 7-Eleven, you buy a Coke, you can also enjoy that. And now they just signed on Grab Car, which is like an Uber, and say that you can spend it, right, in Family Mart or in Grab, right? So this is a live project. They actually did a very successful fundraising last year, and today they are actually in nearly 6 countries. Okay, here's another one. Pundi X is actually a project out of Indonesia, and they said, we're going to build the next generation point of sales terminal. The difference is that this point of sale terminal would be able to read debit card, credit card, Alipay, WeChat Pay, and able to have a QR code on the side to read any digital currency wallet. With this, they actually just created a next generation point of sale terminal. You know how you go to retail outlets and you see like they have like 15 different machines from different banks. Now with one machine, they just do away with everyone, right? So Pundi is actually powered by NEM blockchain because underneath the POS system is a digital asset swapping engine powered by NEM blockchain, right? So here's another one. Proxima X is also earlier this year, they did a very successful fundraising, and now they're in actually 3 countries with offices. Basically what they said is, we're going to create a decentralized storage, because every time you make transactions on the NEM blockchain, but the problem was for corporates or companies, where do you store your data, or where do you store your invoices? If I were to store my invoices on a centralized database of any sort, I know that I might get hacked or somebody might steal that information from me. So we created, or rather Proxima X created on the NEM blockchain, a decentralized storage based on something called IPFS. And they say that today now, your transactions are secure because it's stored on the NEM blockchain. And now even your storage is secure, where you store your invoices, your customer records, or even your inventory data on the Proxima X engine, right? So these are just some of the 3 use cases that's out there from NEM blockchain, and they are live projects already, right? So this is the interesting part. That means blockchain technology does the blockchain part very well. We solve with the NEM blockchain 3 of the issues that enterprise today are looking at. But how about the other 3? Simplicity, working models, business use case. How do we solve those? That actually depends on you guys, right? If you're a developer, if you are a programmer, or even if you're a corporate with an IT team, this is the part where you would say, okay, let's look at our organization. What can we do to change our process and using NEM blockchain or using blockchain in general to create business use cases to solve the problems we have within our organization, right? So the green part is your job, okay? So with this, I just want to say thank you so much. It's been a pleasure coming here. Leroy, my Korean lead, he's here. So if you have any questions to ask about NEM blockchain, and I encourage you to go to our website at nem.io and learn a little bit more about NEM blockchain. We'll be very happy. And as a foundation, basically our charter is to help both individuals, developers, to know more about NEM blockchain and to help you to build systems for the projects. And of course, with companies and governments even. If you have a project that you need probably something like blockchain to solve it, we'll be very happy to actually help you discover it, and then perhaps NEM blockchain could be the blockchain that you're looking for to build such systems. With this, I thank you very much, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact Leroy and myself. Thank you so much.
네, 고맙습니다. Thank you very much. 네, New Generation Blockchain 세션 4의 모든 강연